So you want to build a website that can take bookings with WordPress, but the current solutions are either too basic or too complicated, and most of them don't even look professional. So instead of shelling thousands of dollars for custom development, all you have to do is follow along, because I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful and modern looking website that can take bookings with WordPress. And all we need for that is one plugin. Hello, I'm Kay from the Astra team, and in this video I will teach you the simplest way to create a professional and modern looking booking website with WordPress. Now this video was a challenge to create. Take a look. So instead of shelling thousands of dollars for custom... Thank you. And now it's a kid. It's a conspiracy. Sirens? And it was also high in emotions. Yeah, once again, don't laugh. Internally, I have curly hair. I just shave my head every day. So if you appreciate the time we put into these videos, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Now, disclaimer. The plugin we're going to use today is not free, but before you click off, let me tell you that given the amount of money this plugin is going to make you, the price is very reasonable, not to say utterly cheap. So if you're ready to build an awesome booking website with WordPress, let's dive in. So first of all, let's take a look at what we're going to build. And this is the website we're going to build. This is the Style for Salon website, and it looks just as awesome on the desktop, on the tablet, and of course on the mobile. So first of all, here we have this beautiful homepage, and once again all this was built with ZipWP, so it's using Astra as a theme and Spectra as a visual website builder. Next we have our services page presenting our 4 services: haircut and styling, hair coloring, hair extensions, and special occasion styling. Next we have our booking page. So here we have our booking services, so I can click on any service, and from here I have service extras. Let's say I want a foot massage while I have my hair cut. Well, when I say my hair, I don't mean literally my hair. So that's an extra, and maybe I want some dreadlocks at the same time. Oh no, that maybe it'd be too much. Let's keep with the foot massage. Click on next step, and here I'm being asked which type of hair I have. So I'm gonna put curly hair. Next, click on next step. And here I can choose my hairstylist, or I can just go straight here and choose my preferred hairstylist. Let's say that I want to work with Sonia Caesar. I can just click on book now, and as you can see, I have the same pop-up, but now it's just for Sonia. So let's start again. Haircut with a foot massage while my hair is being cut. Click on next step. My hair is curly, and now I can choose a slot. So I see there are 19 available slots on the 29th, and let me pick my preferred slot. Let me pick this one. So here I already created an account, but if not, I can just log out and create an account on the spot. Now you don't need to create an account, but I selected that option because I thought for this business it might be better so that customer can actually reschedule, and that's going to save some time to the staff. So next, click on next step. And now I can either pay later because I activated that option, or pay now online. So let me click pay now online. And if I have a coupon code, I can put it here. So let me put that coupon code. All right, so as you can see now, the coupon code has been applied. So it's 50%. Let me click on pay now. And now let me fill in my card details. This is just test mode, of course. Click on next step. And there you go. So now I'm just going to verify my booking details, and once I'm okay with it, I can click on submit, and there you go. I have a confirmation booking ID here, and here is the confirmation. The balance due is 0 because everything was paid in full. Now here you have the show QR code, and if I click on it, all I have to do is flash my phone, and then I can add it to the calendar. Actually, let me do it. So I'm just going to take a picture of this. And as you can see, I can add to calendar. Or here on the computer, I can just click on add to calendar, or I can actually print my confirmation. Now as a customer, I'll also receive a confirmation by email. And if I log into my dashboard, I can actually have access to all my bookings. So all my previous bookings, and I can reschedule my bookings, provided that I am within the time frame allowed for rescheduling. So next I have my information. I can change my information, my password. I can create a new appointment, or I can see my messages. So here, for example, I had to reschedule, I sent a message and I got a reply from the admin. You can also get a reply straight from the hairstylist. Now, talking about the hairstylist, she received this email. She can either click on this button to manage the appointment, or she can just log into her dashboard and she's gonna see all the upcoming appointments that she has. So this is the one that was just booked. And from here, she can do a lot of things like changing the status of the appointment. She can look at the information, make sure it was already paid. She can even send a message. And talking about a message, if we look here, we can see that there's one message waiting, but we'll see about that later. So the main plugin we're going to use today is called LatePoint. And as you may have heard, LatePoint was acquired by Brainstorm Force. So be ready to see a lot of integration with Brainstorm Force products in the near future. But the good news is LatePoint is a mature plugin, it's an awesome product, and you can use it today. Next, building our website with ZipWP. So the first step is to go to zipwp.com, and we're going to use ZipWP to build our website with the power of AI. So all you have to do is click on sign up for free and follow the instructions on screen. So first click on create new, complete website. And then for this website, we're going to select business, click on continue, and the name is Style Force Salon. Click on continue, then write a brief description, and you can click on improve using AI and let the AI do its magic. Next, click on continue, and then by default, it selected hair salon as a tag and showed and selected these images. Now you can choose another tag or write a new one, or you can just deselect the images you don't want and click on the images that you want to add. Next, click on continue, fill in the details, then click on continue. And here you have several design options in the form of templates. You can pick any one you want, but I'm going to select this one right here. So just click on the one you want and click on continue. Next, click on start building the website and just sit back, relax, and enjoy the short flight. And congratulations, your website is ready. So all you need to do next is click on customize website. Awesome. Next, you can add your site logo. So just click on upload a file, or you can just drag and drop it. And here you can either drag and drop the files in this window, or just click on select files. And actually here, I'm going to add all the images I need for the whole project. Next, I'm going to select my logo, click on select, and there you go. As you can see, it's right here. Next, I'm going to deselect the option show the title, and I'm going to change the size to 150. Now, this is the brand guide for the Style Force Salon brand. It's got the logo versions, the color palettes, the typography, and if you are interested in having such a beautiful brand guide and how to build a logo for free, make sure you take a look at this video so that you can build your own. So I'm going to select this color palette, and if I want, I can always change it later in the customizer. Now let me scroll down, and for the font pair, I'm just going to leave it as it is and click on save. And there you go. Now we can move on to the next step. Next, customizing your website. So when we use ZipWP to create our WordPress website, it actually installed the WordPress Astra theme as well as the Spectra Visual Website Builder. Now this video is going to be long enough, so when it comes to the content, I'm just going to show you how I changed it. So this is our homepage, and I'm going to refresh it. And there you go. This is what we have now. Website is beautiful, and I just tweaked a few things to make it look even better and on brand. Now, if you want to go a bit deeper on how to change the content and the structure with Spectra, you may want to take a look at any of these videos so that Spectra will have no secret for you. Now, that being said, let's change a few things with the Astra Customizer. So in the WordPress dashboard, you want to go to Astra, Customize, and first of all, I went to Global, Buttons. Then I scroll down to where it says border radius, and I made it 90 overall. So if I put it back how it was like this. So all buttons had square corners. But now by choosing a border radius of 90 pixels all around, this is what we get. Okay, let's go back and back one more time. Next, I'm going to hover over the button here in my header and click on the little pencil icon. So first of all, we're going to change the label to dashboard. And then we're going to change the link from contact to dashboard. Now the thing is, at this moment, if you try to click on that button, it's not going to work because we haven't created the dashboard page yet. But we will do so once we've installed and configured LatePoint. And then later on in this tutorial, we will need to come back here because we will add a Book Now button that will trigger a pop-up with the booking engine. Next, getting and installing LatePoint. So first of all, you want to go to latepoint.com, click on pricing and select your preferred plan. Now the good news is that even before you purchase, you can get a taste of LatePoint with a 7-day sandbox trial. Next, you'll receive the plugin in the form of a zip, and then all you need to do is go to Plugins, Add New, Upload Plugin, then click on Choose File, select the zip file, click Open, and then click on Install Now. Click on Activate Plugin, and here you have the quick setup process. Now you can set everything manually later, but it's actually easier to start here. So click on Get Started, and here you can start creating your agents. So just fill in the details, upload your agent's photo, select it, then click on Use this media, click on Save, and repeat the operation for your other agents. And by the way, the agents are your bookable resources. In this case, it's hairstylists. Okay, once you're done, click on Next, and here you can add services. So give the service a name. So here it's haircut and styling. You can give it a duration, and you can upload an image for the service. So I'm going to pick this one, click on Use this media. Okay, great. And by the way, for each service, you can select which agents can perform the service. So for example, here we're going to remove those two and just keep those two. Actually, no, Julius is going to be the one. So next, click on Save. All right, and now we got all our services. Click on Next. And here we can change the work hours. So here, for example, we can turn off Sunday because nobody's going to work on Sunday in that business. But for the other days, you can just click on the little pencil icon here, and we can put the start and end time. So here, for example, let's make it from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we can click the plus sign to add another work period for Monday. So let's make it 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And let's repeat the operation for the other days. Okay, then click on Next, and the setup is now complete. You can now insert a booking button on any page using this shortcode right here, or by adding a WordPress block called a booking button. So click on Open Dashboard. Now before we move on, please bear in mind that some features are only unlocked once you add your LatePoint license. So for that, you want to go to Settings, then navigate to System, then enter your name, your email address, your license key, and then click on Activate License Key. Next, setting up LatePoint. So LatePoint comes with a lot of features. So I'm going to walk you through those features and the ones we're going to activate or not activate for this tutorial. Now, it's pretty empty right now because we don't have a single appointment. So I'm going to show you another install where I already have some dummy content. Okay, so first let's start with the dashboard. So here you can see the performance, you can see your sales, the hours work, and all of that. Now this is a new install, so you won't get a lot, but still we will get some other data. Now, bear in mind that I only added a demo payment system with Stripe, so you won't see real transactions, but it will look just like the real thing. So next here we have the upcoming appointments, and you can filter by locations, agents, or services. For example, you can see the day preview, you can show appointment, show availability. The UI is pretty self-explanatory. Now here on top, you can see a little number 1. That means we have a message, but we'll look at that later. Now here, if we click on this icon, we can see the activity log. And if we click on this icon, we can see the pending appointments. So depending on how you set it up, and we'll see that later, all appointments can be in pending approval status, or they can be already approved. If they are pending, you will see a number here. Then when you click on it, you can actually review those appointments and just make the changes you want to make. Next, you can click on New Booking, and next you have your avatar, and you can click on Settings to change your own details. Next, we have our calendar here, so we can see it for today, we can see it for the day, or we can change it to the week, the month. You get the idea. Now you can configure the calendar to be a two-way sync with Google Calendar, but we're not going to do that here because that video is going to be long enough. But if this is something you want to do, just go to the LatePoint documentation. It's very well explained, and of course I put the link to this documentation in the description of this video. Okay, back to our dashboard. The next tab is the Appointments tab, and here you can see all the upcoming appointments. You can filter by service, date, time left, agent. There's a bunch of filters. You can also download the CSV if you need that in a spreadsheet form, or you can click on Table Settings and you can decide which setting you want to add. For example, I added the phone here. I want to see the phone of the customer in the column. So if I have to call a customer, I can very quickly pick up the phone and just call them right away. Next, we have the Payments tab. And here, same story. You can see all the different payments. You got different filters, and you can download the CSV file. Next, we have customers, and it's a new business. So we have one customer, John Doe, but he's here, and I can actually see the details, the phone number, the email. I can see the total number of appointments, the next appointment, and so on. So once again, I can download the CSV and I can create a new customer from here if I want to do it manually. And that's pretty handy. If you want to use this in your store, you can just click on New Customer and you can add the new details here. Next, we have our services, and we added these services in the quick setup process, but now we can edit service by service. So for example, I can click on Edit Service, and here as you can see, you can change the service name, category, background color, and other options. It's pretty self-explanatory. Next, we have the media section with the selection image we added in the quick setup process. Next, we have the service style image. Now this is for a block that I will show you later. We can add that block and we can either let the customers choose by service, by staff, or by location, if you enable locations, because yes, you can have multiple locations with the LatePoint plugin. So here I'm just going to add the same image. So here it is. Next, we have the service duration and price. I set it to 60 minutes, but the difference is within the quick setup process, I couldn't put a price. So here I'm going to put the amount I want to charge, which is $60. I could tell the system, hey, I want to take a deposit, or I want to take the full amount when I'm actually charging. Here I'm going to use the full amount, but you could do a deposit if you wish to do so. Next, this is the display price. The display price is different from what you're actually going to charge. For example, if you have tax and no tax, you may want to show the price with or without tax. So you can do it here, and you can also put a maximum price. For example, if you have extras, which we're going to see in a moment, you could put from that price to that price. Next, we have other settings like the buffer before and the buffer after. So for example, let's say between two haircuts that your hairstylist needs 10 minutes or 5 minutes, well, you can put it here. Override time intervals and override status for bookings. So here it's set to use from general settings. We're going to keep it like this. Next, we can see here the agents linked to that service. We saw that before, so I can deselect if I want to remove Julius Caesar from this service, but here I'm going to keep it as it is. And here I can set a custom schedule. If you remember, we have the schedule from Monday to Saturday, and it's the general schedule, but I could say for this service, it's a different schedule because maybe there's only one of the hairstylists that can perform that service and they're only working half time, for example. Next, we can have days with custom schedules. If you remember, in the quick setup process, we set the hours, but we can say, hey, for that specific day, we want to change the schedule. Same thing for holidays and days off. So the difference is holidays and days off are one-off, whereas here we can say, hey, for this service, every Tuesday, for example, it's only until 11 a.m., for example. So that's the difference. And next, we can say if this service is linked to service extras. And we're going to see service extras in a moment. So here for all services, I added those two service extras. Now you can add also restrictions like a minimum to be selected for service extras or limit the maximum number that can be selected. Now once you're happy with it, click on Save Changes, and now you can edit the other services. But I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it right now. Next, we have our Categories tab where we can add new categories. And we have these service extras. Now for the service extras to work, you actually need to activate it via the Addons tab. We're going to see the Addons tab in a moment. But basically, once you've activated the service extras add-on, you get this tab. you can click on add new extra. So for example, let me show you the foot massage. Let me click on edit. So here I give it a name, I can give it a duration, but if you add a duration, please bear in mind that it's gonna add it on top of the actual service. So if the service is haircut and styling for 60 minutes and you put 60 minutes for the foot massage, it's gonna add it on top. Whereas here, what I've said, I've put 0 minutes because it's basically get a Swedish foot massage while you're having your haircut. So it's still 1 hour, but someone's going to be cutting your hair, someone is going to be massaging your feet. How better can it get? All right. So once again, you can see the connected service from here. Next, agents. Now you may have noticed, but here in the left panel, I've replaced the label agents by hairstylists. And if you go back to the initial demo that we started building in this tutorial, it's still agents. Now agents is the default label for resources in LatePoint. And at the time of recording this video, you cannot edit that in the settings yet. But if you need to change it right now, I will show you a quick and easy way. So in WordPress, you want to go to plugins, add new plugin. Then in the search field, you want to type local translate. Click on install now and activate. Next, go to local translate, plugins. Then click on LatePoint. Click new language. Select English United States and click on start translating. Next, you want to type agents. Scroll all the way to the top and here it is. Just click on it and then in the translation box, just put the new label. In my case, it's hairstylists. Next, click on save, then click on sync. And now if you go back to the front end and take a look, we haven't refreshed the page yet, so it's still agents. And now I'm just going to refresh the page. And as you can see, it's now hairstylists, both in the menu and even here on the page title. Now in a future update, you might be able to do it straight within LatePoint, but at the time of recording this video, this is the quick workaround. Okay, back to the other demo. So when you hover over a hairstylist, you can click on the little edit icon, and here you can edit the way you would any other page on this dashboard. But the great thing is that first of all, users in LatePoint are not connected to WordPress users, but you can do so. And you would want to do so for the staff. So let me go back to hairstylist and let me show you here. If I hover over Sonia Caesar, click on edit, you can see that I connected Sonia Caesar to the WP user, so to the WordPress user, Sonia Caesar. So now the two are linked. And if I look in the backend of WordPress, as you can see here where it says role, it's a LatePoint agent role. Okay, next we can add additional contact information. So for example, if you need to notify multiple persons about the appointment, you can add additional email addresses here. Next, we have extra information. So here I added a bio image, which is the same image I used for the profile of Sonia. I gave her a title, which is hairstylist, and a little bio. And this will be visible to the customer on the hairstylist selection screen in the booking engine process. So if I hover over Sonia Caesar, as you can see, there is a link here, learn more. And as I click on it, here is our bio and here is the background image. And these here are actually highlights. And you can add and edit those highlights right here. So give it a value, give it a label, and boom, you're done. So next you can see the offered services that Sonia actually performs. And like here, for example, I remove special occasion. So she doesn't do that service. Next, you can set a custom schedule per agent, and same thing for days with custom schedules, holidays and day off. You know the drill now. So once you're happy with it, click on Save Changes and do the same for the other staff. Okay, next let's click on coupons, and this one is pretty straightforward. Once again, this is an add-on, so you need to activate it first. But once it's activated, just click on Add a Coupon. I've already added one, so let's open it. So first of all, you got the coupon code. Next, you got a name for internal use. Then you give it a discount value and a unit. So here it's 50%, but it could also be a fixed value. For example, you want to give $10 off. Well, you would select fixed value and change it to 10. But let's put it back to %. And here you got some coupon use restrictions. Now, I didn't use any, but basically you can limit the use per customer, give a total use limit, and once again, it's pretty self-explanatory. So once you're happy with it, click on Save Coupon. And next, let's move on to locations. So here I got the main location, which is the only one we have so far. But if I click on Add a Location, As you can see, I can give it a name, an address, whether it's active or not. I can add a category and put a location photo. It could be a map, could be a photo of the location itself. I can set a custom schedule for that location and then just save the location. Now we're not going to do it here because we want to keep it simple, but this is a great feature because so many booking plugins miss that feature. So if you have a franchise, for example, well, you want this option because you want to affect staff to a specific location, and you want to be able to basically organize your locations differently. But once again, that video is going to be long enough, so let's keep it to one location. So next, let's click on Add-ons. And this is where you'll be able to activate or deactivate add-ons, but bear in mind that you cannot access this if you didn't add your license for LatePoint. And as you can see here, I activated the custom fields, which we'll see a bit later in this video, the role manager, and that's pretty handy if you want to handle what your staff can do, especially if you have multiple locations. That could be really handy. Now, I did not add the taxes add-on, but obviously in a real life scenario, you would do it. I'm not a certified public accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. So I would advise you to check with your CPA to make sure you put in the right rules. Next, you can install the webhooks. If you don't know what a webhook is, you probably don't need it. And if you know what it is, you know how powerful it is, and all you need to do is click on install now. Now, I activated the chat, which we'll see in a moment. We actually already saw it at the beginning of this video. It's the messaging app between customers and the staff. The coupons is activated. Now, Google Calendar and Meet, I did not activate it, but if you need to do it, if you need a two-way sync, once again, you can go to the documentation. Next, we have group bookings, which I did not activate. Locations I activated just for the purpose of showing you where it is and what to do with it. And next you have MailChimp, and then you have some payment processors like Braintree, Flutterwave, Mercado Pago, Molly, PayPal, Paystack, Razorpay, Square, Stripe. So here I only activated Stripe. And next is the QR code info, and that's a very handy one. As you saw at the beginning of this video, once the customer is done and has finished ordering a new appointment, they can just flash that code and add it to their calendar. Next, we have reminders, service durations, service extras, which I activated, and I showed you how we can actually use it. And next we have SMS Twilio. So that's a service if you want notifications by SMS. Now you need to have an account with Twilio, but if you do and it's super cheap, well, you can just activate it and now you have SMS notifications. That makes it look really, really professional. Next, we have the time zone selector, which is pretty handy. For example, you're selling online services and you're going to get customers from, different time zones. And next we have Zoom. Anybody knows about Zooms. So this add-on will allow you to automatically generate Zoom meetings for your appointments. Once again, for example, let's say you're doing coaching or consulting online, that would be super handy. Okay, let's scroll back up and let's go to settings. So first of all, we have the general settings. So here we have our appointment settings. For example, the default status when someone books an appointment. I've set it to approve, but you could choose pending approval, cancel, no-show, completed, and so on. Now, once again, the rest of the settings here are pretty self-explanatory. Then you have date and time options, like the 12-hour clock system or 24 hours, and you can tweak it to your liking. Next, you have restrictions. For example, the earliest possible booking, like I want to book now. Here I can say, hey, it's minimum 1 day. So I would write plus 1 day, or how long in advance can I book? So here I've put 60 days. Once again, you can read it here, but you can actually write plus 60 days plus 1 week. System will understand it. Next, you can add quantity restrictions. So for example, a maximum number of bookings per customer. Next, you have currency settings, phone settings, appearance settings, so you can match your brand. Time slot availability logic. For example, you could say the location can only be used by 1 agent at a time, or agents, and in this case, agents would be hairstylists, can only be present in 1 location at a time. Or 1 agent can perform different services simultaneously. Next, we have customer settings. So for example, here you can allow rescheduling, and you can say they can reschedule, but minimum 72 hours before the appointment. Now, this is completely custom. You could say 1 hour, you could say 1 minute, or 1 day, or 100 days. It's up to you. Once again, all these options are pretty self-explanatory. You can allow customers to cancel, which I did not allow in this scenario, but hey, feel free to do it. And here you can see the shortcode for the customer cabinet. I will show you that in a moment. It's actually even easier to use a block, but you can use shortcodes, especially if you want to customize some of the options. Next, we have authentication, social login. I did not enable social login on this website, but you can enable login with Google or Facebook. Next, you have setup pages. So if you remember earlier in this video, we changed the URL to the dashboard button in the navigation, and this is where you do it. Because by default, this is what you get: customer dashboard and customer login. So basically all you need to do is change it to dashboard, which I've already done here. Next, you have your business information. You can add your logo, company name, business phone, and business address. Next, you have calendar settings and Google Places API, if you want to link your LatePoint install to Google Places. So once you're happy, click on Save Settings. Now let's scroll back up. And next we have the Schedule tab. So we already saw this in the quick setup process, but once again, you can click on the edit icon and edit any of those settings. Next, you can set days with custom schedules, as well as holidays and days off. Scroll back up. Here you have the tax tab, but once again, I did not install the taxes add-on, but like I said, you should in a real life scenario. Next, we have our steps. So here you can change the order of the steps. It's drag and drop. Or you can select a specific step. So for example, here it used to say agent selection, and I just changed it to hairstylist selection. Then you can add a short description and a step image if you want a custom step image. But in this case, I just have the image for the service itself, and I'm not going to add an image for every step, but you can if you wish to do so. Next, let's scroll down. Here we got the book form settings. For example, you can say you want to show link to the learn more about agents, which is the bio that I showed you earlier on with Sonia when you click the little learn more. Next, you have other settings, and then you can change the info in the left panel, change the phone number here, for example. And you can add conversion tracking tags. For example, if you're using the pixel from Facebook and you want to track your leads and your conversions, well, you can do it here. All right, let's scroll back up. Next tab is payments. Now, as you saw previously, the only payment processor that I added is Stripe, and it's super easy to configure. So basically, you need to go to the Stripe website, log into your Stripe account, and navigate until you can copy your secret key and your publishable key. And then all you need to do is to paste it in the appropriate field. Now, let's scroll down. Here, I selected the credit card methods, and I set the environment to testing. I also allowed to pay locally. So for example, if people don't want to pay online, they want to pay straight when they go to the hairstylist, well, if the business agrees, all they need to do is to activate that option and then click on Save Settings. Okay, let's scroll back up. Next, we have the Notifications tab, and here is going to use the default WordPress mailer. And by the way, if your emails are not sending from your WordPress install, it's not the fault of LatePoint. So basically, LatePoint is using whatever system you have on your WordPress install. So if your emails are going through, it will work with LatePoint. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. But if it's not working, no panic. Just take a look at this video that will help you fix all of your WordPress email sending problems. And now back in the Notifications tab, you can install the SMS add-on as we saw previously with Twilio. Or you can just send notifications by email. This is the default one, and you can actually customize this. If you click on Show Layout Variables, you can change the layout here. You can put the business logo image, the URL, and so on. Now let's scroll down. This is the password reset email. Here we have the chat notifications. So that's also an email that your customer is going to receive. And let's scroll down. You also have the notification to agents about new messages. Okay, let's scroll back up. Here we have the roles. So as I showed you, I installed the role add-on. So here, for example, I can see that Sonia Caesar is linked to the Sonia Caesar WordPress account. So if I click on it, I can actually customize it specifically for her. Permitted action, custom, and I can change specifically for Sonia Caesar. But let me toggle this off. And here I can just see, okay, hairstylists, what are they permitted to do? So here, for example, they can view and edit other hairstylists. They cannot view, delete, create, or edit services, locations, and so on. Once again, it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you have a business where you have a lot of different roles, then this is a godsend. It's super easy. Usually you need a dedicated plugin for that. Here is just an add-on. Next, we have the system. We saw that already. You can see the latest version, system info, install add-ons, and this is where you manage your license, without which you cannot activate and deactivate the add-ons. Next, processes. So if I click on processes, the first tab is the processes tab, and here we can see our new booking notification. So when there is a new booking, send an email basically. And if I open, this is the email. You can fully customize this. So the great thing is you can also use conditional logic. You could say only trigger this when specific conditions are met. You can create more notifications that only occur when a specific event happens. For example, if you want a sequence of emails with days intervals, this is awesome. Next, you can see the scheduled jobs here, and you can see the activity log. All right, next, integrations. So here you have calendars, meetings, and marketing. So for the calendars, you need to install the Google Calendar add-on. I already told you we're not going to do this here. This video is long enough. Next, we have the meetings tab. So if you're using Zoom, you can actually configure it here or the Google Meet add-on. Next, you have the marketing tab. And at this point, the marketing add-on is MailChimp. So we're not going to configure it here, but if you're using MailChimp, feel free to do so. Next, form fields. So for that, you need to install the specific add-on for custom fields. And here, for example, you can add fields in the customer form. Some new piece of information, could be the birth date or whatever you want. Next, we have the booking fields tab, and that's great. And you saw it in the intro of this video, because here I created a new custom field. So let me show you. Label type of hair. So in terms of placeholder, I just put select. The field tab is a softbox, but I could have chosen a text field, a phone number field, and so on. And here is my options list, because I want the hairstylist to know, hey, this person, do they have straight hair, curly hair, or afro? Next, you can enter a default value and so on. Once again, pretty self-explanatory. And if you forgot what I'm talking about, let me show you once again. So here I can select my service. Then I'm going to click on next step because I don't need no extra at this point. And here it is, type of hair, and in the drop down, the option that we set up. So if I click on curly hair, then I can move on to the next step and so on. Okay, awesome. We've made it through the dashboard. As you can see, there are so many options, and I only scratched the surface here. You can make it as simple as you want or as complex as you want. As you saw, I only activated some of the options, so you don't need to go through all of this, but I wanted to show you what the possibilities are. Next, integrating LatePoint in our website. So first of all, you want to create a couple of new pages. So in WordPress, you want to go to Pages, Add New Page. So first, let's give it a title. We're going to call it Booking, and then we're going to click on the little eye icon to hide the page title. And at this point, we're just going to click on Publish and publish one more time. Now let's go back one more time. Let's click on Add New Page and let's call it Dashboard. Now once again, let's click on the little eye to hide the page title and let's click on Publish and publish again. Now let's click on the WordPress icon to go back, and now let's go to Appearance, Menus. So this is our main menu, and we're just going to add our booking page here. Click on Add to Menu, and we're going to change the order. So Services is going to be right after Home, and Booking is going to be right after Services. Then click on Save Menu. Now let's go back to Pages, and I'm going to hover over Home, click on Edit. Then here I'm going to click on the Document Overview icon. And for the first container, I'm going to click on the three dots, click on Copy. Now let me go back by clicking on the WordPress icon. And now let me hover over Booking, click on Edit. And here I'm going to click where it says Type to choose a block. Then I'm going to right click and paste. Next, with my container selected, let me click on Style, Change Image, and I'm going to select a different image. Click on Select, and next let me click on the plus sign, and I'm going to click on Heading. Now let me go back to Document Overview, and I want to place this heading within the container. So here it is. So I'm going to get rid of the info box by clicking on the three dots, clicking on Delete. And now I have my heading. Now it's dark on dark, so you can't really see it, but I'm going to change it to Online Booking. For the alignment, I'm going to click on Center, and the heading tag should be H1. Next, let me click on Style. And for the color, I'm going to click and choose a color in my global palette. And as you can see now, it's visible. Next, let me click on typography, and for the desktop, it's going to be 40. Now let me go into mobile mode, typography, and here is going to be 32. Okay, let me go back into desktop mode. Now I'm just going to click on the three dots with my heading selected, hit duplicate, and I'm going to change the text to per service. And this time for the typography, it's going to be 32 on the desktop. And let me go to the mobile mode, and here it's going to be 26. Now let me go back into desktop mode, click on spacing. I'm going to unlink the margin values and give it a top margin of 20 pixels. Next, let me click on the plus sign, and I'm going to scroll down to where it says LatePoint. And here I'm going to click on booking form. And as you can see, it added the booking form right below. Next, I'm going to click on my per service heading, go to the general tab, and let's change it to H2 here. Very important for SEO, you already have the H1 here. So with my H2 selected, I'm going to click on the three dots in the floating bar, click on duplicate. Then I'm going to open the document overview, and I'm just going to drag this heading underneath the booking form. And I'm going to change it to per agent. Next, let me click on the plus sign here and click on container to add a new container. Then let me click on the plus sign, and once again let me scroll to LatePoint blocks and click on list of resources. And as you can see, by default it's set to services as a resource type, but I can click on the drop down and change it to agents or location. In our case, we're going to use agents. Now let me change it to 2 columns. Then you have step settings, item settings, other settings, and appearance. And here for the appearance, the button background, I'm going to set it to black for the time being, and the text color, I'm going to set it to white. And for the size, I'm going to pick small. Now for the border radius, let me type 90, so I'm consistent with the rest of my look. And now let me open the document overview again, select my container, then go to the general tab, and for the custom width, select pixels, and I'm going to change it to 740. And now let me drag the list of resources block within that container. Next, click on update. And now if we take a look on the front end, this is our online booking page. We got the per service booking engine, and here we have the per agent booking engine. And as I click on one hairstylist, I get the booking engine, but with this specific hairstylist selected. Okay, next let me go back. Then let me hover over the services page, click on edit. Next, let me open the document overview, and for the first container, click on the three dots, click on copy, and then let me go back to the dashboard. And now let me hover over the dashboard page, click on edit, click on where it says type to choose a block, right click, paste, and let's change the title. Now let me click on the document overview, select my container, then go to style, change image, and I'm going to pick that one, click on select. So let me collapse this, click on the plus sign, let me add a new container, and it's going to be this one here. Now let me open the document overview once again with my second container selected. Let me click on the plus sign, just type paragraph, and I'm just going to copy a short code. So here I'll put the link in the description, is all the short codes available, but you only need this one actually, customer dashboard. So all you need to do is to copy that short code. Then let's go back to our dashboard page, and where it says type to choose a block, let's click in it, right click, and paste. Now let's click on the document overview and make sure that the paragraph block where we just pasted the code is within the container. Then click on update, and let's preview our page. As you can see, the page looks good, and our customers can now log into their dashboard, and we'll see that later in this video. Now, if you remember, earlier on in this video, I told you that we would need to go back to the Astra customizer to add an instant book now button. So let's do it now. So let's click on customize. Now let me hover over the call to action here, and it's loading the header builder here. So right next to where it says button, I'm going to click on the plus sign, click on widget 1, and next click on the plus sign and just type shortcode. And here you can write your shortcode, and it plays the widget on the right hand side. So I'm going to drag and drop it on the left hand side of the button. Now still on the same page, which I will link in the description, you can click on booking button, and here you can just copy that code. But it also comes with attributes, so that's the very simple version. but you can actually customize it. So there are many attributes. Now you can keep it as simple as you want, but in my case, I wanted to change a few things. So I pasted this short code, and basically what it does is just changing the background color to match my brand, text color, the border radius, the padding, which is the space between the edge of the button and the text, and the font size. So let's click on publish. And now if I go back and refresh, and now if I click on book now, as you can see, I have instant access to the booking engine from any page. So let's go on the about page, and I can do it from here. So you may be wondering, why do we need this? Well, this is handy if you want really limit the friction. Like people want to book, okay, they can book right away. But then you would say, okay, why do we need a booking page then? Well, for SEO, it's better. And also, when you want to link to that page, for example, you want to link to that page from another social media, you have a campaign, you want to link from there, you cannot link to the pop-up directly, you need a page. And also here you have more options like the per agent page. And as we saw previously, if you had multiple locations, you could also add a block with per location. So a dedicated booking page is very handy. Now let's go back to the customizer. Let's go into tablet mode. And as you can see here in tablet mode, we have a few things to change. So let's hover over the logo and let's change the size to 120. And now let's go into mobile mode. And this time we're going to change the size to 90. Okay, let's go back into tablet mode. And as you can see here in tablet mode, we don't have the dashboard button nor the book now button. Now on those small screens, you cannot put everything. So we need to make a compromise here. Let's choose the dashboard button. Right here in the header builder, we're going to click on the plus sign, then button, and let's drag and drop the button on the left-hand side of the toggle button. And if you click on button, as you can see, we have the correct URL, which is a relative URL. So you don't need to put the full URL, just /dashboard, provided that you use dashboard in the LatePoint settings. Now let me zoom back out. Now let's go into mobile mode. Let's select our button, go to design, font, and let's change the font size to 10 pixels. Now right here, it's looking like it's not really the way we want, but let's take a look on the front end. So as you can see here on the front end, it looks fine. Here we have our toggle button and our dashboard button. And as you click on it, it's working fine. Our customers can now log in. Next, booking as a customer. So let's imagine that my name is Patrick Doe, and one of my friends told me about Style for Salon. And my friend told me, hey, this salon is great, and there's this hairstylist, Sonia, really know what she's doing. She's really talented. So I went onto the website, then clicked on booking. And here I can see I can either go through service or through stylist. And here is Sonia. So let me click on book now because that was a recommendation. Click on haircut styling. And here, oh, foot massage while I'm taken care of. Okay, great. Let me add this and click on next step. So the type of hair, curly hair. Next step, let me pick a date. So let me pick the 28th. And for the time, well, 3 p.m. should be fine. So here, let me add my information. Then let me create a password, confirm the password, and click on next step. Now, my friend had a coupon code, so let me enter that coupon code, click on OK, and I can either pay later or pay now, but actually I want to pay now. Next, let me put my credit card details, and of course we're in test mode. And as you can see, first of all, the coupon is applied, so I have 50% off. And now let me click on next step, verify booking details, so 28 at 3 p.m. yes, with Sonia Caesar, yes, haircut and styling, foot massage, and I get my discount. Couldn't be better, so let's submit. Awesome, here is my confirmation. I can add the appointment to my calendar, I can print it, or I can show the QR codes and actually add it straight to my calendar on my mobile phone. So that's awesome. Now I just got an email, and yes, it's a confirmation. Here it is. Sonia Caesar, 28, 3 p.m. So here's my reminder. And if I go back to the website and log in, here it is. Here is my appointment. So that's great. Now the thing is, I need to reschedule because I made a mistake. I won't be available on that date. So let me pick the 2nd of December, still at 3 p.m. and let me reschedule. Okay, confirmation your appointment has been rescheduled. Now, if you remember, we said it that when there's a rescheduling, it's confirmed, but you could say it's pending approval or refuse, you decide. But in this case, it's confirmed. Now, out of courtesy, let me see if I can actually message Sonia. So let me click on messages. I can see here the appointment and I can type, "Hey Sonia, sorry, I had to reschedule." And let me type enter. Next, managing bookings in the dashboard. So if you recall, we linked the hairstylist Sonia in LatePoint to the WordPress user Sonia. So now we're logged in as Sonia. So here is the interface. Here I can see the upcoming appointments. I can see the performance just like we saw previously. So here is the calendar. So here is today, but I can put a month view. So let me go to the next one. I can see this is a new appointment on 2nd of December. So here I can see all of my appointments coming up, the payments made. So I can see there's a new one from Patrick Doe, just like now. I can see my customers. I can also create a new customer from here if I need to do it manually. And I can change my settings. Now here I see a little bubble with the number 2. So let me click here and I can see I have 2 messages. So the first one is from John Doe. It says awesome, great. And there's a new one from a certain Patrick Doe. Wonder who can that be? So hey Sonia, sorry I had to reschedule. So here I can see the appointment info. So it's been rescheduled to the 2nd of December, 3 p.m. I was free anyway, so that's fine. So let me write, hey, no problem. See you then, Patrick. And click on send. And back as Patrick in the customer dashboard, Patrick immediately gets the message and also get an email notification. Now let's go back to Sonia's dashboard and let's click on appointments. And for example, here I can see the Patrick Doe appointment. I can click on this appointment and I got all the information right here. We saw that previously, but if I want to change something as the hairstylist, I can do it from here. It's very convenient and it makes the whole process smooth and way easier. So you're now equipped with the knowledge to create a professional and modern looking booking website with WordPress and this awesome plugin. Now I'm curious, for which type of business do you need to create a booking website? Please let us know in the comments below. And of course, if you want to start making money with your appointment booking website, you'll find a link to LatePoint in the description of this video.